Alright, this will be like a 2-hour video. I'm seeing Judd Apatow downtown. I'm going to put the phone in my pocket to see how it goes.
All right, are you guys ready for your feature going tonight? Yes? You see it, tonight's show. Curb your enthusiasm. Guys, make a lot of noise for Federman! Thank you for music that's inappropriate for my demeanor. Guys, great to be here in the water. In Wisconsin, right? Okay. I don't know where I'm at. I don't like flying. We took one of the little commuter airlines and we just followed the highway. We flew 80 feet off the ground. And we got off the wrong exit. We had a circle. It was terrible. I'm a little confused, but I'm here. I noticed you have the carpool lanes here, which is I'm against. I think Federman is against because they discriminate, and I think we can agree that discrimination is wrong, right? I think the carpool lane discriminates against the lonely. These people, they're no fault of their own, don't have the social skills to make friends. What do? We push them off to the right in this vehicular apartheid where they sit isolated in their loser-mobiles, forced to watch the popular people whiz. Well, this feels like I'm being punished in the corner, is what this feels like to me. It's my first time at this club. It's just do your comedy in the corner. And I love that every seat is great except for the one straight ahead in the back. Sorry, those people, there's a pole there. It's weird, but it's great to be underground. In case of a fire, you don't have to worry, we all die, there's no panic, we all die. There's no safe way out of here, especially you guys, seriously. We're so cramped in there, just packed in. So, I like to start my sets off about dying. Let me tell you what's in my back pocket. I want to brag, but I have an iPhone, and I can afford one. 6S, but the point on my iPhone is that I kept the AT&T service, and let me tell you why, because I feel like the name of the company reflects the service. It's American Telephone and Telegraph. That's perfect. Oh yeah, no wonder it's spotty. I have a contract with the Telegraph Company. I have the same service provider as Abraham Lincoln. It's ridiculous. I don't know if you know this, but there's more computing power in your cell phone than was used to send Apollo 11 to the moon and back those guys safely. Which just makes me think I'm not using my cell phone correctly. Because I use it basically as a flashlight, right? Let me tell you my favorite apps. I have 2 of them. Number 1, settings. That's the whole joke. There's no joke. Oh my God. So let me tell you a little about myself before we... Okay, that's a little quieter than I thought that was going to be. Something for setup. Okay, we'll figure it out. Panic, sweat. I have my axe on the piano. I'm from the worst state in the United States. Don't say it, just think it. It's Florida, yes. Yes, it's true. I'm from Florida. Oh, it was tough growing up there. All my friends were retired. But the important is I come from the most racially insensitive name for a city, maybe in the United States. This is a real place. It's called Plantation, Florida. It was just in the news. That's where I'm from. Yeah. It's not like a fake, it's a real place. It's not like, oh, concentration camp, New Jersey. It's a real place. And I went to South Plantation High. I'm from the less progressive part Oh, Plantation. All right. Oh, wait. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, it turned off by itself. Yeah, that's better. Just please stay up here the whole time, if you can. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Let's do some music right away. Let's do this. Now, thank you for helping me with that. Try this. I always start my shows off with. Let's do this a little closer. Coldplay, of course. That's all I know. Let's get this. Oh yeah, okay. Let's see how this works. Okay. Put your hands together. Just put your hands together like you're praying. Is this the beginning comedy room? Because there's very advanced stuff I'm doing here. So, by the way, if you forgot from the introduction, my name is Wayne. I liked the name Wayne until the 4th grade when my teacher was like, Wayne is a word. I go, what? She goes, yeah, your name's a word. I go, what's it mean, like to run or to play? She's like, oh no, it means to diminish slowly over time. That's a true story. Okay, this might be a little loud because it's feedback, but just a little bit. But as you know, I'm from Florida. Let me do some music. Here we go. This is, remember this? Don't. You can still get your GED. So much potential when that song came on. So much potential. Such a beautiful song. Let me play you my favorite Carpenter song. Here we go. For the film buffs. I don't entertain the whole group. I do pockets. I hope I get to you. You're closest to me, and it seems like you don't like me. So anyway, like I said, from Florida, and then I moved to New York City, and then I studied acting there. I ran the New York Marathon, which was easy, and now I live out of... No, because halfway through the marathon, you cross into the South Bronx, and then you're just fleeing. By the way, if I seem a little off tonight, it's because I'm microdosing ayahuasca. So, fingers crossed. Again, pockets. This is a love song. About a girl. Can we dim the lights? Perfect. Okay. What's going on with this thing? There we go. That's nice. This is a story of a girl that I was fell in love with. She worked in a bakery. Here we go. She kissed me once, then turned to lock the door. When she returned, her bra was on the floor. She said, tonight, you'll be my fantasy. But then she dug her fingers in the side of me. She needed me. That's the entire thing. That's called good writing, is what that's called. That's pen to paper or Evernote, whatever your system is. Let me play another song from that same album called Cease and Desist. Here we go. This is another love song. Oh, by the way, before I do this, I just want to say I have a book out. It's a Hollywood memoir. It's called I'll Take That as a No. Being really straight to PDF. Here we go, guys. Here we go. This is a love song, another love song. I fell in love with another girl. Not in a bakery, but she also worked, also a working girl. She worked at the Bose headphone company in the noise canceling division. This is called You don't hear me anymore. We fell in love that summer day, but that's a sad one. That is a sad one. So I went to see Dave Matthews in concert, and no, I'm about to make fun of him again. This is the Beginner's Club because terrible. So I went to see Dave, and I'm not in a fraternity, so I don't know his music, but I go to the show. Thank you. I go to the show, and it's fun, we're all enjoying the show, and then at the end, for an encore, he does All Along the Watchtower. The girl I'm with is like, oh my God, he's doing a cover of the Jimi Hendrix song. It's like, no, actually, Jimi Hendrix did a cover of a Bob Dylan song, so Matthew's doing a cover of a cover. That's a duvet. That's bullshit. Don't duvet me, Matthews. Do not duvet me. Jesus. See if I remember this. Remember that La La Land? That movie came as close as you can to winning an Oscar. On stage, like, hold on. It's the greatest moment. But I know, my one problem with that movie was, and I adored it, was there was too much jazz splaining in that movie. Like, we don't have to explain why jazz is good. We all like it. Let me prove my point. Let me play a classic jazz standard I'm sure you'll recognize. Here we go. That's called heroin for breakfast. That's a good one, right? Once you get that melody in your head, it's like a worm. If a worm had worms, it's so in there. It's so in there. Yeah, the jazz guys are great. But I like all kinds of music. Let me play you some Jay-Z. Here we go. It's a hard knock life for us. It's a hard knock life for us. I guess you don't like hip hop. All right. Every crowd's different. Every crowd is different. I don't know. I'm enjoying myself. I've been working out. I have a terrible diet. My favorite of all. I don't even know. Do you have Taco Bell here? Do you even know what that is? Oh my God. I can't believe I got to be alive when Taco Bell reached its peak. Like, this is, I'm just going to say two words. One of them is a compound word, and that is Crunchwrap Supreme. It is the most amazing feat of engineering I've ever. Is it a weapon? And there's 5 sides, there's a star. I like reversed engineer. I took it apart. I didn't know what it was. So great. I remember the double decker also when that came out. It was just a single hard shell taco. Because Taco Bell, when you really break it down, makes 3 items, and then they crossbreed, mutate. So when the double decker came out, it was just a single hard shell taco wrapped by a soft tortilla. But here's the genius: in between, they put in refried beans that act as an adhesive. Can I play you? This is a song I wrote, and I just want to try it out. It's not complete, but it's just I'll give this my own composition. Here we go. It goes like this. And it goes. I'm calling it Schmahemian Rhapsody. You guys are good. This is good. You're gonna have such a now, Judd. I don't do any politics. I don't do any politics. Judd might, so just be ready for it. Just be ready. Just be ready for that. I don't even. So anyway, let me tell you a little something about my favorite store in Los Angeles, which is called. Oh, before I do that, I want to talk about again the ayahuasca. The end of baseball season, which I couldn't be happier. Baseball to me is by far the most boring of all the sports. Even when it was exciting during the series, it's like incredible. Like and I think everyone who's played or gone to a baseball game or involved with Major League Baseball knows it's boring because what happens at the 7th inning of every game? They stop playing, wake up everyone in the crowd, make them stand up so they don't get a blood clot from lack of circulation. And then they sing this song called Take Me Out to the Ball Game, a song about wanting to go to a baseball. I don't even know where they're at this point from the booze and the beer and the boredom. Anyway, I had a very weird experience happen to me at Yankee Stadium, and that's when I found out that I've been singing that song wrong my whole life. Now, if you've never been to Yankee Stadium, they have the friendliest fans in the world. Very helpful, and let me tell you what happened. I start singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. I get to the part where it goes, buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. The guy literally turns around and goes, what the fuck did you just say? I thought he was kidding. I thought he was like, oh, I'm doing the character of the New York guy. But no. Even though he was like, I go, buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. He goes, that's what I thought. You're fucking ruining it. You're singing it wrong, you piece of shit. I'm like, what? What is the lyric? He goes, it's buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. Singular. Has anyone heard of this? I was like, no. You buy peanuts because there's many peanuts. And the no one's buying one single Cracker Jack. They're buying a box of Cracker Jacks. And then I hear from the back, he's right, you piece of shit. I turn around, it's one of those 12-year-old kids with the adult voice, you know? He goes, it's like popcorn. You don't buy popcorn. So I was like, all right. That's why I love New Yorkers. That's why I love New Yorkers right there. They're so fun. But I really like sport. My favorite of all the sports teams' names has to be the Philadelphia Phillies. Because that's classic Philly. They didn't even try to come up with a name. I don't know if they overslept that day or what happened. Phillies? You mean like the horse? No, this is just short for Philadelphia. We're not really playing this game. That would be like the Washington Washies. Like no one would... San Antonio Tonios. No one would possibly... Although there's some weird ones in hockey. Hockey is the weird ones. Because they go from the most benign, a maple leaf, very intimidating, to the craziest, especially today, the Predators. Like, come on. Guys. Although I do like the Utah Jazz, because what jazz collection isn't complete without those Charlie Mingus Provo sessions? Listen. Guys, I have to go. I know you paid to see someone else, but and I've been up here a while. But this is my first time at this club. I don't know if you know this, but this is, in the comedy world, a legendary comedy club already. So I assume it has to do with you guys in the audience. So thanks very much. When we finish, don't give yourselves a round of applause. That's weird. It's very weird. Sorry you got blocked by that. You can handle it, right? You can handle it. Okay. So I am going to finish. I've gone to a lot of rock concerts. My favorite I ever saw was Pink Floyd. That was total drug show. Everyone is chanting, "We don't need no education." I'm like, that's a double negative. Actually, that means you do need education. But I've been to a lot of shows. Again, thank you. And I've been to a lot of shows, but one person I never got tickets for, and I'm kicking myself because you can't get tickets anymore, was Beethoven. So I'd like to finish tonight, do my impression of a Beethoven concert. Here we go. Oh no, sorry. Please welcome, direct from Bonn, it's Beethoven. Hey, thanks very much. It's great to be here tonight. Since this is the last night of the tour, I'm just going to play the hits. Nothing off the new symphony. Nothing off the new symphony. And as you know, I start my shows the same way every time, with a question. And that question is, are you ready to classical? I can't hear you. No, I actually cannot hear you. It's a miracle I can play piano. That's it, guys.
Some comment cards on your table. Fill them up for a chance to win a party right here at the Comedy Club whenever you want. You can fill some comment cards, drop them on your way out when you're ready, and it's gonna be fun. Alright, let's do what we came to do, huh? Yeah, holy shit! The producer of Crashing, now his Netflix special, The Return. Guys, lose your mind for the legend, Judd Apatow!
Let's hear it again for me, please. For all the years of laughter, all the laughter. How you guys doing? How are you doing? You're who I'm going to focus on this entire time. I'm always aware. I'm always aware of the person with the weirdest seat. And you are the winner of the weirdest seat. It's so good to be here. I have never been to Wisconsin. I went to see the Dodgers play the Brewers. That's as close as I got. And in the middle of the game, I turned to my wife and I said, I think I want to switch and root for the Brewers. They seem cooler than the Dodgers. Just because I'm more like the people than like their personalities. And my wife got really mad at me. She was just like, "Don't you ever say that!" And then we were watching the Red Sox play the Dodgers, and I said the same thing. I'm like, I think they're way cooler than the Dodgers. But my wife is just kind of a fair weather baseball fan. Like we only watch right near the very end. Right when it heats up, we begin to get interested. And my wife is obsessive. And you know my wife, Leslie, right? Leslie, my wife, Leslie, man. Now, you know my wife, about a year and a half ago, she said to me, my name isn't Leslie, it's Leslie. And that was 23 years into the relationship. 23 years. I'm like, why did you wait that long to tell me that? And she said, because I knew if I told you, you would have trouble adjusting. And then every time you screwed it up, I'd be really mad at you, so I preferred to just have you not know that you're saying it wrong the whole time. And I said, okay, well then I want you to call me Judd Apatow. But my wife just yells and screams, she's very excited, but then she did, someone was walking someone, an intentional walk, and she had not seen that before. And so she's like, what the fuck is happening? And then she's like, why is he doing that? What's happening? Like, she doesn't know the rules yet. She did ask me how many innings there were. I thought that was pretty good to get to that age and not know how many innings there were. I never know why my wife is married to me. And then every once in a while I figure it out. Like, we were at this party, and there was like a really, I thought, ugly guy. And she turns to me and went like, that guy's cute, huh? So sudden it made a lot of sense. I'm beginning to bother her more than I ever have, I think. I think I'm beginning to irritate her more than in previous years, just as we've been married for a long time. And then, you know, like she gets mad at like kind of funny things. Like, okay, I do this thing. Tell me if this is bad. Like when I eat soup, I lean very close down into the bowl and just do that. And she wants me to be up and lift it up and not spill any. And we fight about that a lot. And then also, sometimes when I'm eating with a fork, I accidentally bang the fork into my teeth. And she gets so mad, she's like, how do you not know the distance to your mouth like that? But it's so good that you guys are so nice to me, because when I'm home, my children, they don't find me funny and they're cruel about it. And my daughter, like when I come home from doing a set, like I'll go to the Improv and I'll do a set and she'll be like, how long did you do? And I'm like, I did 15 minutes. She's like, oh my God, why'd you put them through that for 15 minutes? Like, well, all the comedians do 15 minutes. She's like, you're not a comedian! Nobody wants to see Gus Van Sant do comedy. And if you walked up to me and praised me after a show, the second you walk away, she will mock you. Viciously. So like, every once in a while someone will walk up and they'll be like, hey man, I love Superbad, man. It made me so happy. I was having a hard time in my life and I watched Superbad a lot and it made me really happy. And the second they walk away, she's like, I love your movies! They bring me so much pleasure! I'm having a hard time! We tried to get into a restaurant next door. Is it called Cento? Is that what it's called? What's it called? Cento. Fuck them, they didn't let me in. I don't care about the pronunciation. I didn't have a reservation. They didn't get excited. My level of fame is very low. It's very low. The only time I ever try to use my name is, sometimes when I call in for a reservation, I'll say my name. Now, only like 1 out of 10 is like knows anything about me, and so, but 1 out of 10, I get hooked up. So I'll do it. I'll do it for the 1 out of 10. And so I'll call up, and I won't say hi. I'd like to make a reservation. I'll say, hi, this is Judd Apatow. Can I make your reservation? You're laughing like my daughter. And as soon as I hang up, my daughter always says the same thing. She goes, you're such a Hollywood dick. You gotta milk it. You gotta milk what you have, am I right? You gotta milk it. Like I went to Disneyland and someone said, hey, if you get recognized in Disneyland and people ask for selfies and stuff, the security people will, for the rest of the day, escort you around and let you cut all the lines. So the next time I went, I wore a 40-year-old virgin t-shirt. And I did not get recognized. I'm looking people in the eye. I'm yelling at my wife, say French toast loud, say French toast. It did not work. So, as you know, I have 2 daughters. I have Maud, who is about to turn 21. Yeah. And my other daughter just turned 16, Iris. And it's been a little weird because Maud left for college, and Iris doesn't like that because she's alone with me and my wife, and that's not fun for her. Because 4 people is a family, and 3 people is a child observing a weird couple. So I get it. And it's hard to be 16. It is, right? Like, girls are crazy at that age. Like, why are they crazy? What is it? Hormones. Yeah, see, I don't know what to do about it because I ride her hormones with her because I'm very codependent. So whatever like issues she's having, like I ride it with her. Like she'll be like, I'm so mad at my friend Wendy. She invited me to her bowling party, but I invited her to my pool party. I'm like, yeah, fuck her, what the fuck? I took her to the fucking Incredibles, this is bullshit! And then the next day I come home, Wendy's in the house. Like, how did she get in the house? Did she sneak into the house? She's like, nah, she's cool. I'm like, I'm not cool with that cunt, what the fuck are you talking about? You find her boyfriend and you make out with her! It's a lot of pressure. And then my daughter Maud, she has boyfriends now, and that's very weird for me, because it's a relationship for me too. Do you know what I mean? Like something that's floating around, like this is a relationship that I'm having. Also, no one cares about that relationship. That suddenly there's this boy in our house all day that I have to go out to dinner with and hang out with. And, I'm excited because I've lived with 3 women for 20 years. And so now I'm just like, hey, do you like poetry? Do you want to go to an Ultimate Fighting Championship? so happy to have a man in the house. And then I come home one day and she broke up with him. I'm like, what happened to Kyle? Where's Kyle? She don't check with me. No one checks with me. And I'm not allowed to call Kyle. So for a year I'm bonding with this fucking kid. The second she breaks up with him, she's like, don't you ever call him. Then I'm secretly calling him on a burner phone. Hey Kyle, I got no beef with you. Do you want to go to Eddie Vedder concert? So then she gets a new boyfriend, and she wants me to meet him. I'm like, I don't want to meet him, I'm still getting over Kyle. Eating ice cream, listening to Adele, thinking about Kyle. So I skipped a boyfriend, I totally skipped a boyfriend. Then she got a new boyfriend, and I have to admit it, I fell in love with him. And now I'm so scared. I'm really scared. But you know what the scariest part is? Does anyone relate to this? Like when your kid is so in love, and they're 16 years old, and all you think is, how is this gonna end? Right? That's what you think. Because it's like if you live in Florida, a hurricane is coming at some point. You're like, what level hurricane is going to be? How bad is the flooding going to be? Should I evacuate the house before it falls apart? It's very scary. Then my daughter, who's 16, she also does not have a signature, which concerns me. Because, I don't know if you know this, at school, they do not teach cursive writing in a lot of schools, and so now she only prints. So everything she writes looks like the fucking Zodiac killer wrote a letter to the FBI. Do you remember people used to have beautiful handwriting? You get an autograph from a baseball player, Reggie Jackson would have this incredibly gorgeous signature, and now it all looks fucking crazy. My daughter, when she tries to sign something, it looks like Sling Blade beside her. I don't know who else I could reference. And I'm like, you need a signature. She's like, you don't need a signature, Dad. I use face recognition technology. I have a thumbprint. No one cares about your signature. This isn't the 80s. Go watch fucking Hill Street Blues. Leave me alone. I'm like, well, you're gonna need it. She's like, for what? I'm like, I don't know, to write a check. She's like, what's a check? You gotta give some money. She's like, I have Venmo. I'm like, well, what if you need it to sign your learner's permit when you drive? And she's like, what's a learner's permit? I'm like, well, that's the first year you learn how to drive, you can only drive with me. She's like, fuck that. I'm driving with you for a year. I'd rather never drive the rest of my life. I'm like, well, what are you gonna do? She's like, I'll Uber. I'm not gonna let you Uber with strangers for a year. She's like, it's not a big deal, Dad. You just take a picture of the Uber driver, and then you say, I just texted that to my dad, so you can't murder me. theory about Uber drivers, I don't know if this is true, but I always feel like that they won't murder my children if I get the expensive Uber. Like, you know, like I feel like the cheaper Uber is more dangerous. But if I get an Uber SUV, they're not going to be a murderer because they got an SUV, right? Although the O.J. Simpson thing throws that around. And Phil Spector and the Von Bulos and the preppy killer. But I think generally, if you can afford an SUV, you don't murder people. This is part of my teaching. You know, it's hard to be a parent. Did you find it hard to be a parent? This is your family. Right there. She seems happy. She doesn't seem embarrassed to be near you. Because you're the one. And you dozed in the other room. Because, you know, the hard part is, like, how do you raise a kid? Like, you don't know when you're done, right? Like, you look at your daughter, and you're like, did I do a good job? You know, you don't know. Then, like, you turn on the TV one day, and, like, you see him, you know, like a Klan rally, and you're like, I guess I did a bad job. And you're waiting to find out, right? You don't know. My daughter always wants advice now. She's 21. I'm just like, I'm not giving you advice. I'm fucking done. I fucking nailed it. I kicked ass. You went to college. I am done. She's like, Dad, can I get like 3 earrings? I'm like, I don't give a shit. I fucking tattoo of Tom Arnold. I don't care. I'm done. I nailed it. Everything that you do now is not on my books. They're on your books. That's very hard because they say, like, do as I say, not as I do, which I think is true. Because I feel like kids, they just act like you. So whatever you say to them, they don't listen to, but they wind up acting like you. Like, you guys kind of have the same expression right now. And so she's like you, and I feel like I didn't model good behavior. Like, I told my daughter, like, you know, when things are hard in life, you know, you just gotta keep fighting, and that's what life is. It's ups and downs, and you will ultimately succeed. But, like, you gotta be able to handle the bad things, and sometimes good things come from the bad things. But, like, when Freaks and Geeks got canceled, what I modeled for her was I was eating my feelings, then I gained 15 pounds, then my back went out from the waist, then I had to have back surgery, then I was on Vicodin, then I raged at my family on Vicodin. That's parenting, right? That's parenting. So now when she has a problem, she thinks I need to gain weight and have Vicodin. Sometimes when parents do a good job, probably like you, they get cocky, you know? And then anything they did as a parent was right. You know? Like, I have this friend, he's like, you know what you gotta do? You just gotta let them go through it. You gotta let them go through it. They're gonna drink, you know? You gotta let them drink, you're gonna figure it out. They're gonna do drugs. They're gonna sell drugs. You need to sell drugs. They're gonna have a territory. They'll have a territory, like a part of town, and then they'll need protection. They'll need protection and muscle, and then someone will try to get in the territory, and your kids are gonna kill people. They're gonna kill people to protect the territory, but they'll do it on their own, and they'll feel good about it. And then they get it on their own. Maud just quit college. Yeah, she quit college. At first, I was upset. I was like, oh, fuck. And then I realized I had put away money every year for the last 10 years, and that I just made $100,000. And I bought a Tesla. Now I'm not mad. I can't really talk her out of it because I quit college. So what am I going to say? Yeah, you know, if you quit college, you're going to wind up like me. You're going to wind up in rooms with your friends laughing, and you will meet Rihanna. So, what can I tell you? I was just at the doctor, and I had my yearly checkup. And that's always fun. You know, I did my cholesterol test. I always, before the cholesterol test, I eat perfectly for a month. Just that month, once a year, I eat perfectly. And then I have low cholesterol. It's a great prank you can play on your family. Because then when you die, they're so surprised. I'll tell you a personal thing about this, which is I'm always fighting eating. It's very difficult for me. Right now I'm in the middle of an experiment, which is how fat can you get as a vegan? And you can gain weight. It's all bread. Eat bread all day. That's all you do. It's the all bread vegan diet. You know you're getting fat when you go up a size in underwear. It's a range, you know. It's like, oh man, I have to go up to 36 to 38. I need more elastic. I do not have enough elastic. I need 3 inches more elastic. I can make any shirt look shitty. That's not any shirt look bad. What were we talking about? I feel like it's headed to something. Do you remember what the beginning? What's that? I was talking about Maud? I don't remember. She dropped out of college. So I go to the doctor, and a lot of times my cholesterol is high. And I'll tell you a weird story about it. My wife gets very mad when my cholesterol is high because she loves me. She doesn't want me to be sick. And so one night, like a week after my wife's grandmother died, I'm like sleeping, and I have this dream. And in the dream, I'm getting a blowjob. And then it's the best blowjob ever. And I look down, and it is my wife's grandmother. And suddenly she looks up and she's like, "Be careful with your heart! Be careful with your heart!" And I was like, "Thank you, Grandma, thank you. I appreciate the message. But why did you feel the need to blow me?" Was it my unconscious or was it a ghost trying to save my life? I've never told my wife that story. I've never told her that story. It's very hard. I have a lot of trouble with food because I like food generally. Don't you like food? Makes you so happy. I'm so happy. Recently, this is a terrible story, but my wife wasn't home, so I decided to go out to shame eat. You know what I mean? Like, just like eat really badly while she's out. And so I go to this place that sells like pastries, and there's a really long line. And I see on the line is Jon Favreau. You know Jon Favreau, the director and the actor. Now, sometimes Jon Favreau is very skinny, he's in good shape, he's just acting, or he's doing a movie, and sometimes he's playing a boxer, and he's in incredible shape. Other times he's directing, and he has let himself go. And he's like very heavy, out of shape, Jon Favreau. And at that time, he was fat Jon Favreau. And I see him, and he's doing the same thing as me. He's like shame eating. And so I just walked out, and I went home. Put a picture of him on my fridge, and it definitely helped me. So I'm at the doctor, and okay, I have my checkup. So after the checkup, you remember this, where they take you in the room. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? They take you in the room to give you tell you what happened. And the doctor says to me, "You want Viagra samples?" And then I was like, what just happened in that checkup that made him think I needed Viagra samples? Like, what test? Then I realized he had just been holding my penis and my balls. I was like, was I supposed to be hard? Am I supposed to cough hard during that test? Because I was trying not to be hard. I was concentrating to get hard. It's my biggest fear in the world. It's like perhaps my balls and something like a slinky, it just expands. When I woke up that day, I'm like, don't get hard. Remember, that's weird. But next year, I am coming in hard. I'm fucking hard with the blood test, hard with the heart test. Okay, so I take the Viagra. I don't need it, but just you want to see what the max out situation is. I want to know what the max out is. So, because sometimes like a grandma, her grandson gets stuck under a car and she lifts the car. Like, what's my max out situation? I was thinking today, I was kind of glad that my penis isn't that big because it's generally not in the way. You know, I was at the airport in the bathroom and there's all these guys. I'm glad I got at a normal situation here. That would literally be some work. Okay. So, I go home. Now, here's the thing they don't tell you. When you take Viagra, you don't tell your wife because you want her to believe in magic, right? Because if you ask, it's creepy and it's sad, you know? You can't say, you want to make love? And they're like, yeah, all right. Well, let me get my pharmaceutical. It's not sexy, you know? So you take it in secret. Okay, so I take it, and then I ask my wife to have sex, and you know, sometimes you ask, and your wife says, no, that's not what my wife said. My wife says, I have stomachache, which is code for if you try to fuck me, I will shit on you. If you say you have a headache, a guy could be like, yeah, I'll fuck that headache right out of your head. You know? And if you say you have a stomachache, you're not going to be like, yeah, you fuck that diarrhea right out of your head. You're like, okay, I'm cool. Another night perhaps, another night perhaps. So now I have a secret erection. I have a secret erection that nobody knows about, except me. And that's not a side effect like in the commercial. You know, like, warning, you may have an erection for 6 hours, no one wants to deal with it. That's like a dad helping his kid with his homework. And what they don't tell you is that when you do it, the blood it doesn't just go to your penis, it goes everywhere. It's not like a drug that like makes, you know, your penis bigger. It's a drug that makes blood just go fucking crazy. You know? And so like my fucking toes look like 10 dicks. I got so much blood in my brain, I think I'm a genius. I'm writing a Black Panther sequel all of a sudden, you know? Like laying in bed with my wife, like it's so hard you can see its heartbeat through the sheets. It's like E.T.'s heart. That's how hard it is. It hurts. It hurts. You know what it feels like for the ladies who want to understand? It feels like there's a young penis like trying to rip through the old penis. You're like, I'm reborn! You're not going to go that way too much. I know this is how people talk here, those kinds of things. Is there anything you guys need to say? Is there anything you like, I gotta find out tonight? No questions? It's hard. I don't know. Understand it. I think you should. I moved from New York to California when I was 17 years old. So I've been there a long time, and so I don't know if I'm like twisted from being out in Hollywood. I have like weird encounters with celebrities. You want to hear some weird celebrity stories? Okay. These are just weird stories. It's not even jokes. It's just weird anecdotes. Let's take a moment. Okay. So, okay, here we go. Somebody back there knows. Okay. So, I'll just take a good couple. Okay. The first one, don't show the picture yet. I'll tell them and then we'll reveal it at the end. Okay. So, you know, my wife made a movie with Robert De Niro, and I had met him about a year and a half earlier. Like this Q&A with him, and at the Q&A, didn't get you can see me there. At the Q&A, I was taking pictures of these topics, and the whole time I'm taking pictures, he's going, and I'm like, what is that sound? He's like, church. And I'm like, is he saying cheese? Is he saying like cheese? And I listen, he's like, cheese. I'm like, he's saying cheese, like a kid who says cheese is a smile. He's saying like cheese. He's the best actor in the world. And so I went online to see if there was a picture of it. And this is a picture of De Niro saying cheese. And so then my wife makes a movie with it. And about a year and a half later, and she goes inside. But on the first day, she says, you know, my husband tells this joke about how when you smile, you should say cheese. And Zero goes, yeah, I said cheese. So now, what was it? Oh, okay. You want to put Elon Musk? So Elon Musk, the guy that created Tesla, he just got in trouble because he was like stoned on Joe Rogan's podcast. And oh, there he is. Okay, so this is how I proved these stories are real. So I'm at a party. It was before this party. This was before Tesla existed. I'm at a party. That's all he is. He's just like crazy rich guy. And he asked me what I do, and I say, what do you do? And he said, I'm trying to build a spaceship that'll fly to Mars and die. Which is like what a drunk would say in a bar, right? That's what he would say. And I said back, you'll never figure that out before you're dead. I was discouraging him from figuring it out. It was the Jewiest thing I've ever done in my life. How are you gonna figure it out? How are you gonna have enough toilet paper to get all the way to Mars? Then you need more toilet paper for the way home. Okay, so I'll tell you another story. So we all love Kanye, right? We love Kanye. We love him, but we're nervous. We're nervous. Right? Like, he's a genius, but something's happening. And we don't know. Like, it should be really bad, but he keeps putting out records, and we don't know what it means. So, Kanye was in Anchorman. I think we have a picture of Kanye in Conway 20. There he is. You know what's funny? Is Will Ferrell was so mad at me for wanting to take these pictures. But I'm like, this is too weird. We have to take a picture of this. This is a weird collection of people. Okay, so this is what happens. Okay, so Kanye comes to the set. Now he's in this sequence, if you remember Anchorman 2, it's like the Battle Royale fight. And he plays an MTV VJ. And so we have like a red J.J. Jackson leather jacket. So I get a call, could you go to Kanye's trailer? He's not happy with his costume. Like, do you remember there's that audio tape of him screaming at someone at SNL? And he's just like, what do you do to the fucking set? What the fuck is that? He's just like, wow, I'm like fucking Stanley Kubrick. And what people didn't tell you is the person that he was yelling at, I'm not lying, was 92 years old. This guy who works there, the lighting guy, is 92 years old. So now I realize that I'm about to get yelled at by Kanye. So I walk to his trailer and I go, how's it going? And he goes, not good! I'm like, what's the problem? He's like, it's this jacket! I'm like, what's wrong with the jacket? He goes, it's terrible! It's like you went on Google Image, and the first image you saw, that's what you went with! Which is exactly what I did. What am I going to dress like Martha Quinn? So I go, okay, let me go find something else. He goes, no! I'm going on Google Image, and I'm going to look at 1,000 images! And I'm like, all right. And an hour and a half later, he comes out of his trailer, wearing the same red jacket, and he goes, I guess this is okay. But I feel like, in order to be like a genius and do amazing things, you kind of have to be like a little bit of an asshole. Don't you think? You know, like if you're like fucking Steve Jobs or something, and you're just like, I want to fucking scream, and you touch it with your finger, and you just control it with your finger. And if I worked for him, I'd be like, I don't know how you can do that. But he'll get some engineer, he's like, just fucking make it happen. And then like 2 weeks later, the guy comes back, I figured it out. I figured it out. So you kind of need an asshole. Most geniuses are kind of assholes. Like Henry Ford, he invented the what? The assembly line. Well, both. Right? But also hated the Jews. Whereas Lindbergh flew across the Atlantic, also hated the Jews. Okay, let me get a better example. Okay, Walt Disney. Okay, so now Kanye's like on the set all day long. So it's kind of weird, like, I don't know if you can imagine, like, you're at work and just Kanye West is with you all day long, and Kim Kardashian's there, never looks up from the phone the whole time, just never once. And I'm sitting there with Adam McKay, the director, and Kanye outside in this park, and he's trying to explain the new album to us. And he's like going, yeah, I don't know if I want to name it I Am God or I Am Jesus. And like, I thought he was joking, because like a comedian, that would be like a joke. Like, if I had a comedy album called I Am Jesus, you're like, that's funny, right? But he really didn't know if he felt more like God or Jesus. And so we're just two goofy white guys, we don't know what he's talking about. And then finally he goes like, you know what, let me just rap a little bit of it, and then maybe you'll understand. So now if you can imagine, it's like you're me, and I'm Kanye West, I'm this close, and he starts rapping the song New Slaves at me, which I think is a little against me, in some way. And he's rapping so hard, and I get so nervous, I just start laughing in his face. Because he's not doing it a little, he's like, it's like fucking Madison Square Garden, he's not walking through it. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna put my dick in your Hampton's mouth, I'm gonna jizz on your Hampton's balls, I'm like, ah! But then in the end I thought, you know what, that was incredible. That was the best music moment I'll ever have in my entire life. That was incredible. That was like seeing Led Zeppelin from a foot away. No one got that in the world. I got that today. In 10 minutes I turn around, he's rapping for the makeup people. He's rapping for the groundskeepers. He literally rapped for everybody. To the point where we're shooting and we sent the PA to go, hey, can you be quiet? We're trying to shoot. What are the pictures I have here? Oh, okay. You want to hear a Tom Cruise story? Sure. Okay, so this is a weird story. So we're shooting Knocked Up, and in the middle of it, I get a call. Do you want to meet with Tom Cruise? Because this is right after he jumped on the couch on Oprah, and he I guess wanted to make a romantic comedy and appear like a normal person in some way. So they said, do you want to meet with him? And I thought, okay, I'll meet with him. But I said to Seth, can you come with me? Because I just thought, someone needs to see this. Someone has to come, I'm not going alone. Now, Seth isn't famous at all at that time. He's about to be, but no one knows who Seth is. So I'm just showing up at Tom Cruise's house with, yeah, he works with me, just as an excuse to have him. So we walk in and we sit in this room, and it's a little unsettling. And then we start talking to him, and he's like chewing gum. He puts 5 pieces of gum in his mouth. Every time he finishes it, puts 5 more in it. It's weird. It's like, and then Seth is talking to him, and in every situation, marijuana and pornography comes up. Like any conversation with Seth, you're going to wind up talking about pornography and marijuana. Now this is 2006, and Tom Cruise didn't understand what Seth was talking about in terms of pornography on the internet. And Seth's like going, yeah, I was on the internet looking at this porno. And Tom Cruise goes, what? There's adult films on the internet? And Seth's like, yeah, there's like films on the internet. Like if you like girl on girl, or you like guys with a big dick, or old ladies, you know, it's like categories. And suddenly Seth is explaining adult pornography on the internet to Tom Cruise. And Tom Cruise is like, wait, so you're telling me there's a website on the World Wide Web? Yeah, I go on all the time. You go on there. And I couldn't tell if Tom Cruise was just bullshitting, or I didn't know what was happening. Then I thought, he's in Scientology, maybe there's like a good chance they discourage him from being on the internet because then he'll learn that Scientology is kind of crazy. What? What? There's a thing from outer space in my body? What? I guess we didn't have that photograph. Is our system down? Hey! The other thing is, okay, this was at the Tonight Show. Someone told me that Tom Cruise, before he does a TV show, this is crazy. He sits up, he sleeps upright all night because it makes his face look better. Is that weird? Who's gonna try it tonight? Who's gonna try it? I have endless terrible stories like this. You can take that time. Okay, you want to hear a Jeb Bush story? Okay, put up the picture of Jeb Bush. Okay, this will be the last one. So I'm at the Tonight Show. Jeb Bush is running for president, and so my friend Steve Higgins is the announcer, and Jeb Bush is in the hallway, and he's kind of just bored and just wandering around. There's no one talking to him. It's kind of like sad. And you can put up the picture if you have it. And I said, let's go talk to Jeb Bush for like a long time. And so we like cornered Jeb Bush because no one's around. And we talked to him for like 20 minutes. And here's the thing. I mean, whatever you are, Republican or Democrat, there's one thing that is true, which is Jeb Bush was really dumb. He was very dumb. This is a dumb man. Like, it scared me. Like, oh my God, he's like in politics. I didn't realize people could be so dumb. When you meet people in politics, what you learn is they're just as schmucky as all your friends. They're not any better in any way. And so, this is the worst thing he said. I said to him, trying to find common ground, you must have to be funny in your work. When you give all these speeches, you must have to be funny. And he goes, yeah, I find humor to be a very effective tool when communicating. I still would have preferred him, I think ultimately. So would prefer. Hey! Look at his face, it's so dumb! We all know that dumb, though. Okay, you can get rid of the screen. You can get rid of the screen. But you guys voting on Tuesday? Is everyone going to vote? Very important. And I don't know, it's such a weird time. Trump's such a strange man. Pete Davidson is on Saturday Night Live, and he said that Donald Trump was in his office, because when you host, you go in the office of each writer, and you try to come up with ideas together. And so he said he was alone in his office with Donald Trump. And he said at one point Donald Trump just goes, I'm gonna be president. Yeah. But what I always find funny is that whenever he gets in trouble for sex stuff, he always says, this is locker room talk. It's locker room talk. Have you guys ever been in a locker room? Nobody talks. No one talks about anything in a locker room, right? We're all naked and afraid and if somebody walked up to me in a locker room and they were like, hey, you like to grab the pussy? I'm like, hey. I'm wet here. I'm literally wet. Let it dry. Do you think there's anything that Trump ever could say that would get him in trouble? Anything? It seems like there's nothing that knocks him out. What if the Access Hollywood tape went on for another half an hour? It got worse and worse and worse, till finally he's like, I own all these hotels, and sometimes people pass away in the room, and I have the manager call me, and I go over there and I fuck the body a little bit. The next day on Fox News, they're like, what's the big deal? The soul has left the carcass. I don't understand what the problem is. I'll tell you a weird story. Stormy Daniels has been in 4 of my movies. How weird is that? She's in 4 of my movies. That is told she's in. You remember in Knocked Up? There's a scene with a stripper in Vegas. Do you remember? And then she puts her butt in Paul Rudd's face, and Seth Rogen goes, "Now that's how you get pink eye." That's Stormy Daniels' butt. Do you not believe me? Okay, let's show a picture of Stormy Daniels. Let's bring the thing down and show a picture. We'll get that going. She's in the 40-year-old virgin. I'll tell you why. Because, okay, every once in a while you need someone to be naked, and I get so uncomfortable that I was like, what do we do? And my producer, who's a woman, she's like, well, why didn't you just get a porn star? Because a porn star doesn't give a shit if she's naked. She's happy not to have sex, so it's like an easy day. You know? It's like Tom Brady having a catch with his nephew or something. There you go. That's me directing. I'm a director. Get rid of it as pornography. We can't show pornography here. Come on, Scott! Shut it! Anyway. I hid this photo from my wife for 11 years. It's really slow to shut off. You can shut it, Scott. So, just proving I'm not a liar. So every time I needed a naked person on any movie, I would tell my producer, like, we need a naked person for this joke. And she's like, well, should we do some casting? And I'm like, can we just get that one lady who's really comfortable? And then the next would be like, what about the same lady who's so comfortable? She's nice when she comes. And so I would use it every time, and so people were like, why is she in all your movies? My wife was like, why is it the porn star? Every movie you make is, you have to explain it to the wife. She didn't get it. Now here's the thing. Do you know that on the set of Knocked Up in 2006, when she got to the set, she told Seth Rogen that she had just had sex with Donald Trump. Google it. It was in the news. Like this year, Seth told me. He's like a witness that like this isn't some new conspiracy that she had been telling people 12 years ago. So that means if there are congressional hearings when the Democrats take over the House, Seth Rogen will be a witness. And they'll be like, what is your name? I'm Seth Rogen. I don't know. I think it's a big deal. She said she fucked Trump. I don't know. I didn't watch The Apprentice. I didn't care. Jeff's got this porn star in every movie. I don't know why. I turn around, there she is. But here's I'm so good at casting. I had Stormy Daniels in movies, and I also, Meghan Markle was in Get Him to the Greek. Isn't that crazy? Meghan Markle's in Get Him to the Greek. Yeah, that's nuts. See, I'm the best. Porn stars, princesses, I have it all covered. The only one I fucked up is we were doing Pineapple Express, and we needed a bad guy, and I auditioned Bryan Cranston to be the drug dealer, and I didn't hire him because I didn't think he was scary. But the funny thing about Stormy Daniels is that Melania didn't leave Donald over it. Isn't that weird? Like, okay, he cheated with a porn star and a Playboy Playmate. That was the same weekend, like 3 or 4 months after she gave birth. She did not leave him. Whereas my wife, we watched 2 episodes of The Crown together, and then she went shopping. I watched the next 2 by myself. We're hanging by a thread. We're hanging by a thread. We may not make it. My wife breaks all binging rules. She breaks, she gave me a hard time for that. She's the worst. Did you watch that, The House on Haunting Hill? So I watched the whole thing. I'm up to episode 8 with my wife. I come home, she's like watching the last 2 alone. I'm like, that is vicious. You know what she'll do? I'll come home and she's 6 into a new one. I just come home, she's like 6 in. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, fine, I got barred. I'm not going to watch the rest of the series with you. I don't know what's happening. She's like, just watch it. And then I'm like on Wikipedia reading the synopsis trying to understand Narcos and I meet Leslie. Leslie and I were in a movie that we worked on together. I was writing and producing called The Cable Guy. And, she was in the movie, and I asked her to go to a Laker game, and we went to the game. And then what she says is, halfway through the game, she turns and looks at me and thought to herself, "Oh, he thinks this is a date." It's amazing she stays with me because I'm so bad at sex. I'm so terrible. I can't believe it. I always walk on a fine line between impotence and premature ejaculation. And I can go either way. You don't know what way I'm going to go. And I'm a nice guy. A lot of people getting in trouble for sexual harassment. Not me. You can't get in trouble if you haven't had sex in 25 years. I used to just be an idiot who couldn't get laid, but now I've rebranded that as respectful. We get in trouble for all sorts of stuff. Al Franken got in trouble because there was a photograph of him pretending to touch a woman's breast while she was asleep, and on a USO tour. And I saw that photo and I thought, have I ever done a joke like that? And so I went through all my photos to be safe. I looked at 37,000 photos, and I did not have a photo like that, which I'm very proud of. But I did have 100 photos of me pretending to blow my friends. Apparently that's my joke. I think that's my joke. I didn't know it was my joke. That's my joke. But a lot of people say, what's going to happen to all these people? Are they going to come back? Do we want them to come back? And I feel like they're all going to come back, and they're going to come back in the same movie, because it'll be some company that realizes I can get all these people cheap, and it'll be some desperate company. It'll be like MySpace Films or something like that. And they'll make a very politically correct movie about a transgender veteran trying to cure cancer. And it'll be written by Woody Allen, and directed by Brett Ratner, with a voiceover by Morgan Freeman, and catering by Mario Batali, and Bill Cosby will play the president. Jared from Subway will be in it for some reason. It'll premiere on Matt Lauer's YouTube channel. I always sometimes think, I'm very respectful of women, but I think, is it respect or is it fear? Because I do get scared of women. So if a beautiful woman walks by, for my whole life, I always look away. And is that respect or is it fear? I think it's fear. Because my fear is I'm going to look at a beautiful woman, then she's going to turn and catch me. And she's going to be like, oh yeah? Well then we're going to fuck right now. And it better be good. And I'm like, it is not going to be good. I just feel like women and men, sex is the opposite for each other. It's like the saying, a woman is allowed to feel sex. She's allowed to think about how it feels and just feel it. Where a guy, we're just fucking concentrating. Don't fuck it up, just don't fuck it up. Because the whole time that guy has sex, he has to have two thoughts. I like it and I don't like it, and he toggles. Like it less. Bring it down. Okay, up a little bit, a little bit. Oh, no, too much, it's over. That's why all porn stars look so stressed out, you know? All the guys are... The only time a guy really enjoyed sex is in that 5 seconds between the moment he knows where he's going to have an orgasm and the moment where he has an orgasm. That's the only time he totally enjoys it, where he's like, that's it for me! My wife is always like, why is it always so brief? I'm like, well, you don't understand. When you have sex with me. But when I have sex with you. You know what I mean? Like, you're a beautiful woman. If I was having sex with me, a fucking hairy Jewish guy in a panic attack, I'd fuck that guy all day long. Because a woman's orgasm is like a roller coaster, right? It's like, oh, here we go again, oh no, one more time, here we go again. And like a guy's orgasm is like that ride where you suddenly just like drop 500 feet. Like, oh my god, that wasn't fun at all. What is that about? That's not a ride, how's it a ride? It's just falling. I want a picture of it. That's why everybody loves a blowjob. Everybody loves a blowjob because everybody's happy no matter how brief it is. Like, no woman is ever furious about the brevity of a blowjob. Okay, well, how do I spend the rest of my day? And no guy even knows how long the blowjob was. Because when it's over, it's like we're coming out of anesthesia or something. Are you okay? You okay? Right. You leaving the hospital? What are you doing, man? I'll tell you one last story before I go. I was trying to teach my daughter wisdom. You know, it's very hard to teach kids wisdom because they don't fucking care about anything that you say. They just don't care, you know? And so I thought, I'm gonna take my daughter to see David Letterman interview Jay-Z. Because then she'll listen to his life story and she'll learn from it. Like, he came from the streets and he was a drug dealer and he climbed out and now he makes all these brilliant albums and he's a billionaire, and maybe that will teach her about hard work and fortitude and all of that. Because my kids are so spoiled, which is my fault, because I spoil them. Because here's the thing, if you don't spoil your kids, you can't spoil yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to play coach just to teach them values. I don't want your fucking apple in a box, okay? I don't my whole life not to eat an apple in a box. Because I feel like my kids' lives have been pretty good. When I was a kid, my parents both went bankrupt, they hated each other, they got divorced, and the whole time I thought, I gotta get out of here and fucking get a job and get the fuck out of here. My kids never think that. Their life is cush. They're never like, I gotta get the hell out of Brentwood, California. This is how spoiled my kids are. My daughter has seen Taylor Swift in concert 3 times on the last tour. How spoiled is that? And I hold it over her head every time. And it's like, you give me any shit! I will not let you meet Demi Lovato at the meet and greet! I will knock that down to a Megan Trainor right now! So we go to Taylor Swift, and my daughter's so mean, she's just like, do you have to come in? Can you just wait in the car? Like, I'm not waiting in the car. She's like, just listen to This American Life or whatever bullshit you listen to. Then I sit down next to her, she's like, do you have to sit so close? I'm like, where the fuck do you want me to sit? It's just bolted down, where am I going? And her nightmare is I enjoyed the Taylor Swift concert. That's her nightmare. If I'm like, and you know we got bad blood. She's like, Dad, don't move at all, don't do anything. But if I don't move, I look like a child molester. The choreography's really improved since the Red Tour. So we go into the Jay-Z interviewing Letterman thing, and I'm excited because My whole childhood, I listened to Letterman and watched Letterman, and I would stay up to 1:30 in the morning. I got bad grades in high school because I was so tired from watching Letterman into the middle of the night. So we sit down, and no one knows we're there. We're just kind of incognito. And then this lady, I guess she saw me, because Letterman comes out, and he goes, do you guys know who I'm interviewing? And they didn't tell the crowd. It was a surprise. And this lady stands up and she goes, I hope it's Judd Apatow. And Letterman goes, yeah, wouldn't that be great? Yeah, let's pack up the car and watch Dave talk to Judd Apatow. And then Iris turns to me and goes, David Letterman hates you. So I figured, okay, he's just making a joke because I have a funny sounding name. But it's so uncomfortable because he doesn't know I'm there. So it's like, you really find out what someone thinks about you. So then he brings out Jay-Z, and the place explodes. And then the first thing he says to Jay-Z is, this lady here wishes it was Judd Apatow. And my daughter's like, Jay-Z hates you also. So then Jay-Z tells his life story, and it really is amazing and inspiring. It's like 2 hours. I'm so moved by it. And as we walk out, I turn to my daughter and I go, were you inspired by that? And she says, fuck him, he cheated on Beyonce. All right, guys, thank you very much.